Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. So, I'm sure some of you guys have heard the rumours about David Allen versus Alexander Povetkin. Apparently this fight is tentatively agreed for the 31st of August should David Allen beat David Price. Should this fight occur, it will obviously take place on the Vasily Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell undercard at the O2 in London, and I've got to say, I truly hope David Allen is trolling, because David Allen versus Alexander Povetkin is a gross mismatch. He has no chance unless Alexander Povetkin's legs fall off or his arms fall off. This dude hasn't got a hope in hell, and he will get seriously hurt. Ultimately, so far, David Allen has proven himself to be a solid domestic level heavyweight. When he stepped up in class, he's lost badly. Took a beating against Tony Yoka, got comprehensively shut out and beaten up by Dillian Whyte, got stopped by Luis Ortiz. This guy is not world level, and every time he stepped up in and around world level, he's not only been beat, he's been beat comprehensively and in brutal, decisive fashion. You go back to the Luis Ortiz fight where Dave Allen had his tongue split. You know, he took a beating that night, and it took him a few weeks to recover. And like I said, every time he stepped up to world level, or even against guys who had the potential to go onto world level, like Dillian Whyte back then, who was a prospect, and Tony Yoka, he got smashed up. So what on earth is Alexander Povetkin going to do to him? Now people will say, well, we saw David Price fight Povetkin, why not Dave Allen? If Allen can beat Price, what's the problem, right? Well, listen, I think the Dave Allen fight is a lot more dangerous. First and foremost, both were mismatches. Price versus Povetkin and Allen versus Povetkin. Both are mismatches. But the difference is, if you're a guy who can absorb punishment and you've got a good chin, you are more likely to get hurt in that type of fight. You know, when guys get knocked out cold, they usually recover and they turn out to be okay. But guys who are a bit more durable and guys who take beatings through numerous rounds, that's when it becomes a bit more dangerous, from my observation at least. And David Allen, one thing about him that isn't overrated is his toughness and durability. The guy's got a great chin and he's extremely tough, and I believe it would take Povetkin a few rounds to get rid of him. And in those few rounds, I'm telling you now, Dave Allen would take a sustained beating. He may be getting paid well should he get that fight if he beats Price, but is it really worth it if you're going to go through that much punishment and pain and there's the potential to get seriously hurt? I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure. Ultimately, listen, it's totally down to Dave Allen. You know, he's a man who can make his own decisions, and it's totally down to him. I'm not saying he shouldn't take this fight. All I'm saying is, as a boxing fan, it's a gross mismatch, and one that I'm really not interested in, to be quite honest. And listen, if this fight does happen, watch how it will be sold. You'll get Eddie Hearn and the likes saying, oh, this will change David Allen's life financially forever. That's why he needs to take this fight. They won't say anything about the competitive nature of the fight and how much of a mismatch it is and how big of an underdog Dave Allen is. They will touch on it, but they will brush it under the carpet by saying Allen needs to take this fight to secure himself financially for the rest of his life. And when a promoter or network does that, that just tells you it's a mismatch. I felt David Price had next to no chance against Povetkin, but at least he had a puncher's chance. David Allen doesn't have that. I don't think David Allen hits hard enough to knock out Alexander Povetkin. He's not accurate enough. He's not active enough. And listen, he's getting beaten up. Would I do it in his situation if the money's that great? Maybe. But all I'm saying is I'm not a fighter. I'm coming at this from a boxing fan's perspective. It's a mismatch that really shouldn't be on a pay-per-view card. Ultimately, it's a tune-up fight for Alexander Povetkin. It's a mismatch, and they will sell it as David Allen securing himself financially for the rest of his life. Like I said earlier, when a promoter uses that to sell a fight, you know it's a mismatch. you know it's a mismatch. Ultimately, David Allen isn't even best amongst his domestic peers. Daniel Dubois is the British heavyweight champion, coming off a really good win over Nathan Gorman. Maybe that's the fight that Dave Allen should really be going for. Prove yourself domestically first, and if you're good enough domestically, then European level, then if you're good enough at that level, then world level. You know, step up each and every time. These jumps from domestic level to world level always end badly, and the same will happen to Dave Allen. We've seen it happen before. So there we go, that's just my opinion. Share your thoughts below. What do you make of this fight? Are you like me and see it as a bit of a joke, a bit of a mismatch, or are you for it? Is there anybody out there who believes Dave Allen has a chance against Alexander Povetkin? I am actually intrigued to know. Share your thoughts below. Peace.